Why do you like to be alone? I can be myself. I never know which version of myself I am when I have to socialize. I always feel terrible afterwards and scrutinize what I said or did. I feel mentally discombobulated. When I am alone, there's no stress. I like myself more. Man, shifting personalities is such a trip. At work I'm talkative, in class I don't say a word, with my friends I'm a dumbass, with my family I'm silly, at the store I'm anxious, and when I'm alone I just feel natural. I'm not annoying anyone. This hits home. Shout out to the crippling fear of and constant feeling that you're bothering other people just by existing, so you have to bottle up 90% of your personality, which then feels incredibly exhausting. So despite sometimes enjoying people, you spend way more time alone than you should, gang. In my opinion, it is nice to be alone every now and then, as it is allowing you to self-reflect and enjoy some quality time with yourself. However, in a more permanent level, I have seen it wrecking my mood and leading me to a state close to depression. Balance does the trick for me. Solitude is comforting. When I'm alone I don't have to be scared to be myself, and I don't have to pretend I'm feeling fine all the time. I live alone, and in my apartment I can do what I want, when I want, however I want. The complete freedom to have a day with no plans and then to spend that day doing as much or as little as I want. No obligations to anyone that I don't make for myself. Spending a lot of time alone is a really good way to learn a lot about who you are, without influence from other people and their opinions or perception of you. I've been living alone for over 2 years, but for the past 9 months of being single and, mostly, not dating, I've realized how much I am capable of enjoying my own company. Too long didn't read. The freedom and amount of time I can spend focusing on myself is why I like to be alone. Edit. Thank you all for your replies and kind words. I will do my best to read as many as I can. Edit 2. I replied to as many comments as I could that related to either questions or advice, the best I could anyway. My friends are annoying sometimes. Because it's nice to be alone with your thoughts and enjoy alone time. Definitely agree. I don't feel as if I truly process new information or circumstances until I've been alone. I hate the stress of having to constantly be present in mind when I'm with other people. I love being able to space out and sit in silence and just be in my own head. People are exhausting. I tend to believe all people have 2 gas tanks, one that can only be filled up by the company of those you truly connect with, and one that can only be filled up by time alone. And they are different sizes for different people. Indeed, as Murakami wrote, in this world, there are things you can only do alone, and things you can only do with somebody else. It's important to combine the two in just the right amount. It is the least stressful condition to be in. Being around a group of people is awkward since I don't really talk to people I don't know. It's quiet. I'm not legally required to say thanks for the gold's kind strangers, but I did accidentally in this sentence, so there you go. Human interaction is fucking exhausting. I don't have to worry about other people. I can do whatever I want whenever I want. Right now I'm planning on getting dressed and taking a leisurely stroll through the park, smoke a joint and get a taco. No time frame. I'll get there when I get there, I'll get back when I get back, then I'll do whatever I want for the rest of the night. Alternatively, last time I was at my friend's and they had the radio on and it was the worst fucking station around. Introversion and social anxiety make human contact a terrible experience. Because I don't know how to interact with people well. I've always been that way, would rather enjoy my own company for countless hours than be around people and feel the need to leave after a while. Edit. Brew, why has this blown up? Thanks for 10,000 upvotes. Because I don't like small talk and I don't like loud people. I love to daydream. I daydream vividly, all the time, to the point where something is probably wrong with me. I daydream when I'm with other people, but I'm better at it when I'm alone. So I can get shit done. Because I need my peace and quiet. So I can fart in peace. I'm a mix between an introvert and an extrovert. I like spending time and talking to other people, but I can only recharge my energy when I am alone. So if I have to socialize for 2 to 3 days in a row, I would make an effort to spend the next day completely alone to get back into good headspace, because I get tired from socializing. There are many more of us than people realize. Gregarious introverts, it's sometimes hard to shift between entertaining and recouping. People sometimes will just continue to expect you to be the showman. I'm a bit of a weirdo and I like being alone because I don't have to explain why I said something or did something. I feel like when I'm around people that I have to significantly tone down my personality, which can get pretty exhausting. It's peaceful and I don't have to be hyper aware of everything around me. I like to be alone with my thoughts. I am a deep thinker and like to have time to figure things out on my own. Zero drama. False. I have imaginary arguments all the time. Me too. And I usually, although not always, win my imaginary arguments. I do what I want without having to be considerate of others. I have really sensitive hearing. I wear earplugs but it is only a dampener. I have noise cancelling headphones but it is only a dampener. And people are loud. I'm happy with my own company and when I clean my house it stays clean. I don't like dealing with shit that's just fucking dumb, like people reading too much into shit and just being really dialed into societal boundaries. I can jam out to my music without judgment. I am my own best friend. I don't have to explain or justify myself to anyone else. I can do what I like, with whom I like. If I want to play on my PS4 for 20 hours there is no one telling me to stop. Having been married then divorced for nearly 40 plus years, being on my own is a blast. I also just love being at home. I don't miss working, as that was very stressful being around people and all that entails. Now I can invite people into my space when I want to. Being retired is the most awesome thing. I feel pretty lonely all the time. When I'm around people I feel alienated because I don't seem very happy and I'm really distant and quiet, which causes others to question me and put me on the spot. It's just my personality, nothing is bothering me. It reached the point where I've lost friends and had to put on a fake personality so people didn't think I was weird, which adds to the loneliness. I like to be alone because I can feel comfortable about being myself. I don't have to worry about being called a downer, melodramatic, or suicidal. For the record, I am not considering suicide. Because I'm a shy introvert and I get awkward with people easily. People are overwhelming to me. I can do the random things that are deemed unacceptable to do in public. Don't have to worry about people seeing me scratching my boob or undoing a wedgie. Enjoying the content? Don't forget to like and subscribe. We put out new videos every day. While you're smashing that like button, here's a meme to entertain you. I hate having to switch between all of my friends' sense of humor every time I talk to them. Also, playing video games is much better. My head is constantly occupied with my shit and it gets in the way of talking to people. I like people but I think it's exhausting to have conversations for too long because I have a hard time following them. I hope I get better sometime. I don't trust people and I always think they're there to mock me or make fun of me. I'm so much less likely to embarrass myself. People are nice until they become exhausting. I don't want to be rude but I have learned over the years that when I am done socializing I am done socializing and there is really no point in me continuing to socialize if I can't draw no enjoyment out of it. I won't be no fun to be around any longer anyway. I've worked in various hospitality industries my entire life. My professional life is jam-crammed full of smiling at people and pretending to give a shit and just generally making sure I have what I call my customer service mask on at all times. That mask is heavy, and it's exhausting to have to wear it. If I'm by myself, I'm on my own schedule. I don't have to smile if I don't want to. I don't have to small talk. If I could live in a tiny cabin in the woods somewhere in the middle of nowhere, New England, just me and my dog, and some goats and chickens, I would gladly grow old and die there. My husband is literally the only person I've ever met that doesn't drain my battery, so to speak. He can stay with me and my animals in my New England hermit cabin. Everyone else can go fuck right off. At first it was quite uncomfortable, but over time it became tolerable, and eventually preferable, for me. It's as if the longer I'm in solitude, the more of it I want. I like the privacy. Also, it's not like anyone wants to hang out with me anyways. I can be ugly in peace. Because it's truly the only way to be stress-free. Migraines. People make me tired and it's nice to be alone with my thoughts for a little bit. I enjoy it because my anxiety lowers. Plus it lets me think. When I'm around people, I shut off most thought processes so I don't spill some weird crap that might worry them. Because I have to sort my feelings and thoughts out, which is crucial to me. In order for me to live with people, I first must have a control over my own thoughts and emotions and be in tune with myself. Just like there is a world outside, there is one inside of us, experienced through blissful loneliness. So no one can fuck up my vibe. I like to be alone because I can't control my emotions, so if I shut people out, no one can get mad at me. It's a win-win situation, and also social anxiety is a big issue. I don't like to be alone. I am terrified of other people. My childhood was riddled with bullying at school and bearings at home. The greatest lesson from that experience was to make myself small, hide in a corner or under blankets, and not make a sound. Speaking made things worse. Fuck those people who made you feel that way. Wish I could have smacked them all in the head so that they would have left you alone. But then again, I was bullied too, and I have no idea if I could defend myself at all. Frown. Hug. Because I can completely be myself, and a lack of people make my senses less likely to overload. Also, not being around people all the time helps you stay healthy and not catch all kinds of contagious illness. My father used to get sick quite often, but ever since he's retired he hasn't been around many people and their germs, so now he hardly ever gets sick. I can do things at my own personal pace. No one is going to complain if supper is an hour later than it usually is. It will still be delicious. No one is going to criticize my taste in music, TV shows or movies, or make fun of me for collecting dolls and stuffed animals. And when I'm working on a craft or hobby, I don't have to worry about being too focused to pay attention to others, or have them interrupt me. Interruptions are the worst. So I can hate myself in peace. All these people saying I'm not ugly, or that I'm not useless, I feel bad because I don't believe them one bit. But it's unfair to them because they don't think they're lying. I feel like I'm being fake humble when I disagree with them, like I want attention. I really don't. I like quiet. I like not having to constantly be on guard because someone else is there. I can be unknowingly insensitive and impulsive, and I'm tired of being a burden on other people. I don't do much, and what I do isn't particularly talented or useful. I like being alone because being around other people is so exhausting. Because I hate being social. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. I like not having to be on. It's just relaxing downtime. Keeps life balanced. I enjoy my own company. Because I'm a cat. It's not that I like being alone all the time, it's that I enjoy being alone some of the time. Me time seems to be very underrated by most people. I absolutely value what little me time I'm able to get, as does the wonderful Mrs. X. Every now and then you just need to wander off alone and decompress from the worries of the day. A long walk/run does wonders for the stress levels. On occasion, we will take solo trips to Disneyland. While that doesn't sound like being alone, trust me, it's amazing. My jokes are always well received. Sometimes I feel like I don't like it, but I definitely need it. Can't process shit with other people talking in my ear all the time. I like to talk out loud a lot. I'd say talk to myself, but it's not exactly the same. I can say whatever I want and gossip to myself, as I hate gossiping to other people. It's nice to be in my own company sometimes. People have bullied me over the years, and now I've realized people are exhausting. I enjoy the quietness and the ability to plan my whole day as I see fit. However, after a few weeks it gets old. I'm married with kids, but travel a lot for work. I've been on the road for over a month. I miss my wife and kids running around. We are all introverts, so we plan our day and do our thing together, sometimes just me and the kids. It's perfect. I am very introverted and prefer to be around animals instead. People drain me and anger me too often, lol. I don't have to be around buzzkills. Because, 1. People suck. We can all agree on this. People are rude, mean, obnoxious, etc. We all have that one person we will always hate, because they will never change. 2. I love being in a quiet environment where I can think of whatever I want, with background noises such as music and rain. It's just relaxing, and many other people can agree. 3. Being alone gets my creative juices flowing, because in the absence of others, I start thinking of what-if questions and such. I can only control myself and my stupidity, not others. Because I really don't like people. Have you ever really sat and listened to people? Some complain about everything, others brag about how great they are. It's just annoying as hell. My thoughts are interesting. I like pondering on them and socialize. I don't know how to not be alone. Being friends with yourself means you can be alone but don't have to actually feel alone. Your relationships with everyone else are temporary and they won't always be there for you when you need them. It's just a fact of life. That's why it's important to be comfortable with being alone, because at the end of the day all of us are. I think social interactions are also very important, but I think people rely too heavily on them for their self-worth.